a small community, every so often someone new comes in
Mm.
and they'll lead it on for the next 30 years.
Yes.
It's like, well done. I mean, one of the biggest disappointments I feel is the bakery.
Oh,
Growing up
yes.
on Alderney, the bakery was always my favorite place to go in the morning.
Mm.
And then one day it shut. And I always thought, well, why don't we just make a video about being a baker on Alderney, target it through
Yes.
social media to all the bakers in
Yeah.
the UK, and get someone to move in within the next 6 weeks? And like again, that's why
Mm.
like 10
Yes.
years ago I started trying to campaign to the States to do this
Mm.
because you only need one more baker to come in. They'll be there for 30 years.
Yes.
And then, but again, you run up
It's
against excuses and people say, oh, but no one wants a bakery anymore. You're like,
yes, yes, we do.
we
We do
do.
want one. Yeah, this is the trouble. You could say that we do have one, but it's got its doors permanently closed. There's one up
I
Victoria
did
Street
notice the
on the left.
smell is still good.
Yes, you can't see it. It looks as though nothing happens. It looks very drab from the outside.
Sure, sure, sure.
Totally drab. Make it a bit more lively, even if you are going to not not open to the public. The bread they make there and such is then sold at a couple of other outlets on the island.
Right, I see. Yeah, of
That's
course.
what happens, which is a great shame, though.
Well, look, I mean, we know that the high street in the UK is struggled as
Oh
our high
yeah,
street has as well. How would we, if we wanted to,
yeah,
if the island wanted
yes,
to regenerate Victoria Street and make those shops fit for purpose, or more importantly, commercially viable? What do you think the like? What's the main message to people
yes.
who would come and set up a business here?
Yes. Well, is what do we need? Again, Chamber of Commerce, we brought out a survey a couple of years ago now, perhaps, about what has Alderney not got which we would like in businesses.
Ooh,
That was quite interesting, and we got quite a lot of people came back with a Chinese takeaway, which we've got now.
that's so funny. Well, there you go.
Yeah,
There's progress.
yeah, and there are other things such as shoes. Um,
Of
um,
course. No shoe
okay,
shop.
well, Jeff sells mainly ladies' shoes there, but trainers and more basic things like that. Sometimes men's clothing. Okay, there's the summer clothing and that, but really, if I want to go out and just buy a boring white shirt for work,
Mm.
I'd probably wait till I go to Guernsey and go into Marks and Spencers and
Yeah,
buy one.
of course. Yeah, absolutely.
I want another pair of socks. Wait till we get to Guernsey. So,
Yeah,
some basic things like that. Uh,
interesting. Well, obviously, I know that consumer habits have changed to
oh
some degree. I think
yes,
Bruno's well happy. Channel Seaways is probably shipping in all of our produce. I mean,
yes,
particularly with Amazon, we got 20% off as well here. There's no VAT. So,
yes.
particularly for me with
Mm.
cameras and drones
Oh
and stuff,
yes.
I always buy the
Mm.
things here because it's 20% cheaper.
Yes.
One of the things that I have been really upset by is
Yeah.
the lack of a cinema.
Oh yes.
Obviously,
We are as well.
growing
Again,
up,
we chamber. Yes.
that was my
That has to come back. It's part of a basic infrastructure. That is.
absolutely.
The only problem with that one is now it's in a place property which is privately owned, and we want some money put into that property so it can be reopened, or look around for somewhere else for it to be. We must have a cinema.
We
It's
have
like we
to.
must have a swimming pool.
Mm. Well, the reason why I say that is because be it that I'm here now full time as a
Yeah.
resident, I do think about okay, if I was to make a little business, what could I do? And the thing is about like a cinema traditionally is that
Mm.
you have a box office, and maybe once a week you'll be able to go and watch a film that's in the cinemas. But actually, if you were to have a membership club,
Yeah.
you're part of a cinema
Yes.
club, you could put on Netflix.
Mm.
Now, I mean, you can't advertise that as come and pay on the door,
Mm.
but as a closed private
As a
club,
club. Yes.
you could put on
Mm.
every night of the
Mm.
week something different.
Mm.
And you just imagine, everyone paying £5 a month, would you pay 10 quid for
Oh
Netflix?
yes.
You've already got then, considerable
Mm.
amount of money to keep the business alive.
Yes.
And you're putting on things that are our favorite movies.
No.
I mean, I would love to watch It's a Wonderful Life at
Uh,
Christmas time. I'd love
yeah.
to watch the boxing or the football,
Yes.
but we can't do that unless we have
Yes.
a cinema.
Yeah.
But okay, so let's say that we
So
cannot get the cinema, the owner of the cinema to do anything, and I appreciate there's probably issues with doing anything. Where else can we have a cinema on
yeah,
this
that's what's so
island?
awkward. Is the cinema before it then? It used to be in the Bellevue. That used to be in the ballroom.
Really? Because
Yeah.
that was a huge space,
Yes,
that
it
wasn't
was.
it?
That was great up there. Um, it's very hard to think of an alternative, which is why we are continuing our talks with the owner to say, we need it,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
not just
absolutely.
personally, it's infrastructure,
Yeah.
basic for us and holidaymakers. But when it was in town there, it used to be a bit of fun because in the winter, before it had heating, people used to go in there and bring rugs with them to put over themselves. And then it was lovely when it came to half time. Half time.
The
It
interval.
sounds the interval. Yes, it sounds like a blooming football match. We'd all troop over to the Georgian for drinks. 'Cause before the cinema would open, we knew it's starting at 7 o'clock in the evening, so we all go in the Georgian first, probably have a pre-cinema drink, and we'd order our drinks for the interval. Then when the interval came about, the cinema emptied, we all poured into the Georgian, and had our drinks, and got back. We always had it's about 10 minutes, so you slurped down your pint of lager or gin and tonic, and back for for part two. That was great. Another little goodie there is that it was all done voluntarily, and when one film was being shown, it wasn't that long ago actually, and I shan't say his name, embarrass him, who was looking after the reels and such. It was a film with 3 reels, so reel 1, fine, but then reel 3 went on, not reel 2,
Oh
and
no.
it was not picked up for ages. And it was really embarrassing at the end of it. But yes, it went from reel 1, 3, 2.
Oh my God. What did you do? What, like, were you just sitting there thinking this film's got a bit
Yes, all a
quick?
bit odd. It produced quite a bit of laughter and chat around inside,
I bet outrage.
and
I
then
love that. Well, let's hope that the cinema can come back in. Obviously, it's all digital now, so
yeah, not quite. That can't happen now.
Have you ever
Yes.
been to one of these kind of everyman cinemas in the UK? They're like they're a bit more bougie. The seats are a little bit nicer, and
Oh
they're like
yes.
table service in a cinema. It's you could really imagine a
Mm,
great cinema here with
yes.
a bit of investment, and I'm
Mm.
certainly here for it.